Good morning. Good morning. Happy Monday, everyone. Welcome to the Nifty Morning Show. Today, we are discussing the ETH NFT rebound, the comeback led by Pudgy Penguins. Little mutant ape comeback as well. A Solana meme coins taking over. And I think Drake is involved with something like this. So we'll be talking about
Anita
that.
Max Wynn, Clemente.
Exactly. And why things could get very, very interesting for Ordinals in the next 2 weeks. Nick, it's great to have you. How cold is it over there? Because
it's very cold, but I haven't gone outside because I have COVID.
Oh wow.
Confirmed?
Yeah, I've had it for like 5 days. I've been actually more productive than I've ever been though, because I literally just spent I was going through our accounting books for 9 hours yesterday, just laying on the couch watching what's that Breakpoint on Netflix? I basically watched season 1 and season 2 just straight through yesterday, which is like, I was like, how are there this many episodes? I was confused going through it. I watched all of Breakpoint. It turned out that after you go from season 2, it just goes backwards and does season 1. So I watched season 1 after season 2. Anyways, bottom line is, I'm caught up on Breakpoint, so that's some good news. And our books are getting just incredibly good. They should have been, but they're even better now. I was doing.
Are we going to get any content from you this year from inside your house, like you did at the hotel in Vegas?
That was a different situation. Might as well. It's not going to be very exciting. It's literally just going to be shots of me splayed out on the couch, being like, "Oh, I'm definitely sick." I'm at the tail end here. I'm hoping, but I'm still definitely feeling sick.
Yeah, Nick's
you look good, man. I've got to say, you look good. You look good for someone with COVID.
It's because I took a shower. I mean, that's literally like the only distinction. A lot of people, it's incredible what a shower will do. Yesterday, I slept till like 1 p.m. and then it was hard to go back to sleep. I got like 6 hours of sleep last night. I don't know. It's all over the map right now with this just devastating illness.
Yeah, well, that's the alpha, is take a shower, folks. Yeah, I was complaining about the weather in Miami. I was like, dude, it was pouring down rain yesterday. And then I got bombarded with comments like, yo, dude, it's 23 degrees here in Houston or Arkansas or wherever these people are. It's a cold front all across the board, and we're feeling it here in Miami as well.
So you grew up soft. That's one of the things that happened living on the West Coast, basically. And so just a little bit of rain will really impact you as an individual. For those of us that grew up on the East, Easy's did not grow up soft, but he's steadily becoming soft the longer that he stays in Miami.
It's 75, Nick. It's cold out here.
Okay. And
got my winter coat on.
So you really got to stay on the northern East Coast. Clemente again was able to last all of maybe 2 months in New York. I discounted it by 2 because 2 of those months were spent stalking your ex. So like there was really just.
Why are we bringing that up?
Well, I'm just
saying
because
it's true.
You just can't account for what was done during that. I feel like
I didn't even see her.
Well, you tried.
No, Clemente, she didn't see you.
Exactly.
This is crazy. People are gonna think I'm like the guy from You.
I love how you definitely you are, but I love how you like. I'm pretty sure everyone does this. Is that you look back at the place you used to live to check if the weather is better there or where you currently live. I do that as well. I always look back at the places I used to live, and it stays in my iPhone app, and I'm just like, yeah, I made the right choice. It's warmer here.
Never look back. I moved back from California to New York. I would say the first winter was tough. It required a little bit of a reset, but shout out global warming. We've been like, this has been a pretty warm winter. We're having a cold week, and everyone's like, well, I guess for Texas, it's a different situation. For New York, it's like, oh, we're having 1 week that's cold. Up until last week was like in the 50s, which for New York in January, pretty warm.
Yeah. The comments, I apologize.
Fahrenheit.
The comments are being extremely distracting and borderline disrespectful, I will say. But quick shout out to today's BoDoggo of the.
By the way, Clemente, it is possible you just click on the comments and they're gone off your screen.
I'm literally gonna do that. Shout out to Sean, who bought his third BoDoggo this weekend, who's got a little crown and a Lucky Dog hoodie. Absolutely fantastic. Shout out to Sean, who's rocking this is a pretty sick Mad Lad. I've never seen one with this kind of face, but you can go follow him at Sean_.
Wait, hold on. We're now shouting out people who have Mad Lad PFPs.
This is really going off the rails, Clemente.
Okay. Bunny, I see you have your hand raised. Anything to add to the BoDoggo of the day shout?
Sean, switch your PFP. You got you put the crown on, but you can't change it. The hell?
Bunny?
You can tell Nick's been sick for like a week because the shout out to global warming is crazy. It's like 23 degrees. Like it smells cold outside.
Last week, you mean your cigarette smells cold or what? Like what part of the scent of cold? You mean it smells like it's about to snow?
No, it smells like it smells cold. You know when you go outside and it smells cold?
Well, you know that by the way, Pio says he can't hear you on Twitter for some reason.
I can hear him. I think that's a Pio problem, but I think
maybe shout out if you in the audience can hear Bunny, can you just give us a thumbs up? On the man, I got completely distracted by that situation. I literally don't know what I was going to say. It'll come back.
Yeah, it'll come back. In the meantime, Signal, can you take it away with the weather report whenever you're ready?
Sure can do, because it's Monday, January the 15th, folks, and that market volume is coming at 22.5 million. You got Blur at 18, OpenSea at 3.2, and Solana at 7.1. If we look at the market leaders, well, the top movers, Pudgy Penguins, up 16% to 12.8 ETH, nearly 13 ETH. Mutants up 15% to 4.6. Node Monkeys up 35% to 0.225 BTC, and Saga Monkeys up 2.5x to 15 Sol. Some nice cookers over the weekend. If we look at the top 4 stories, we start with Ordinals. Taproot Wizards have announced that their very first mint will in fact not be the Wizards, but will instead be the Quantum Cats. It's a 3333 supply collection, which will be minting on January the 24th. And also, they have their one of one up for auction at Sotheby's with a leading bid of $40,000 US. Meanwhile, Node Monkeys has rallied back up 35% from their local bottom up to the price that I mentioned earlier, and that whole NFT collection is basically the lion's share over on the Ordinals volume. On to story number 2 is over on the Ethereum side. We had a bloody start to 2024 with ETH's run. We saw various collections recover. Mutants, they bottomed at 3.8. Now they've rallied almost 20% to 4.5. You got Nakamigos, they pumped nicely 30% following their trading cards announcement. But the winner of the weekend, it was the Penguins. They've pumped to almost 13 ETH, and that is a new all-time high for the collection, almost $30,000. If we go over to Azuki, we talked about them last week. They came out with a new announcement. They celebrated their 2-year anniversary since mint by sharing a new anime short and a Twitter thread giving an update on their goals and priorities. They're going to emphasize anime, physical products, and gaming. Some deliverables included their anthology series that is expected to be released in Q2. The hyper casual Beans mobile game is expected this year, and a collection featuring Line Friends and Beans has also gone live. And lastly, they shared, of course, the 12 new emblems in the collector's profile, which will be factored into a new drop. And then lastly, Solana Memecoins, they're back with a vengeance, as we saw Dog with Hat that pumped 70% to a new all-time high, and Wynn pumped over 8x over the weekend, so a fully diluted market cap of $45 million. That is all for the weather report. Lots of action over the weekend. It is back to you folks in the studio.
Amazing weather report. Thank you, Signal. Some updates here from the Nifty Daily Digest, their newsletter. It's posted to X every morning and emailed to people. It's in hot contention, early contender for NFT newsletter of the year, as we're making some updates to it. You can go check that out. Wow, that's not good. But I was going to say the first story of the day is Bitcoin. is down 13% from its local high of 49,000 US dollars on the day of the Bitcoin ETF. This can't be good. But Easy, I saw you tweeted you wanted an apology from Pio because you said this was a sell the news. Yeah, so we'll see whether or not that ends up happening, but not looking very good for.
You should get into a boxing match because the amount of smack talk coming out of Easy's mouth is absolutely absurd. Talking about his own teammates, you might as well be brothers wrestling around on the ground, punching the shit out of each other. Based
You'd
on
like to watch that, wouldn't you, Nick?
What was up with you did the same thing to me, or about when it was like, who am I going to hit with the car? And you tried to defend that by saying, oh, it was a trick question. That's not a funny game to play. Okay, so you got to.
I think it's kind of funny, Nick.
Watch that mouth. I'm gonna wash it out with soap. Jeez, I can't speak.
No, it's a problem.
COVID lisp is what they call that.
Yes.
I think is what they call it.
It's a terrible, terrible situation that continues to affect you. I know. COVID lisp.
It's getting to his head, Nick. We went to dinner on Friday, and frankly, Easy was being a jackass the entire night. A lot of smack talking from his end, calling me pipsqueak, little bro, broke, all those things.
Whoa, the third one never came out of my mouth, Clemente. It's why I left you with the bill.
Okay. Yeah, and Bunny. All right, let's keep going. A second story of the day. We have Nakamigos teasing the crypto trading cards were teased by Nakamigos. These supposedly are going to go live on January 17th. Nakamigos, like we said, had a 30% pump at 2.20. Nick?
One of my favorite things about this is that them, Moonbirds, and everybody else are basically doing our playbook from last year when no one gave a shit about the stuff that we did. Basically, all of them are literally doing the exact same thing where it's free NFTs, where they're giving points. So that's a points thing. Azuki added the badge thing. Easy. We discussed it. We just haven't rolled that out.
We talked about that so heavily. The rewards for certain traits and everything about it. Collecting all the furs. We just don't have the bandwidth to do it at the current moment. I still love the idea. And a lot of people I talked to said that they love the Azuki collector's status. It also to be brutally honest, it's going to drive liquidity as people try to complete all the badges. It's just it's the essence of NFTs. It's a collectible. It makes you want to collect them all. Shout out Pokemon.
Yeah. I don't know if that's the case though. When the NFTs cost thousands of dollars, that people desire I mean, obviously it'll drive some sort of sales, but it's difficult for me to believe that people are going to just throw around that the average collector is going to throw around thousands of dollars and buy 10 more Azukis.
Well,
then
they buy 10 more. Oh, good.
Sorry, I was going to say, within the Azuki ecosystem, I do think that would happen. I don't think that's true across all collections, but particularly Azuki, I think throwing around thousands of dollars to collect certain ones will happen.
It's also you can sell your floor one and buy another floor one to try to get certain amounts. The other thing is how they reward these badges, because there's 4 tiers. So if say tier 2 gets something better than tier 1, you could see a lot of people chasing that, which is it may not have a heavy cost to it is the thing. I don't know. I like the idea a lot. I think it's going to pan out really well.
We'll talk about that later on in the show as well. We saw 80 Bits. The next story is 80 Bits saw a 15x from their mint price. And Cosimo
Medici.
Cosimo is crazy, bro.
He called in this space for a while. What's going on, dude?
Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize from my co-host, my panelist being extremely disrespectful today.
He called me a jackass 4 minutes ago.
Cosimo called 80 Bits the mutants to CryptoPunks, which I thought was very interesting. It made some headlines yesterday as he
got airdropped one of the NFTs.
Yeah. Next story is 2 Spirit Azuki sold yesterday, one for 90 ETH and another for 95 ETH. It could be possibly because of the collector badges. This could be associated with them, but either way, we're seeing some sales after, I believe less than a month ago, these were selling for 50 ETH. Easy. Not sure if you remember. But next story, we saw XAI Kasai. This, I believe it's a gaming token. Easy. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's Zai. This hit a new all-time high. Easy. What is this?
It's an L3, I believe, off of Arbitrum. They just had their node sale. and games are going over there. They just had their highest daily active users, but this thing's cooking. You couldn't buy a node if you're based in the US, so that's fun. But yeah, shout out Zai, shout out Sobi. If you know Sobi Life on Twitter, frequent participant on a lot of the Rug Radio content side of things. He's one of the people behind this.
Okay, so it's a scam. So
I wouldn't say that.
So
You know?
I saw a lot of people that have these Psi nodes set up, and they got airdropped a bunch of these. So this was all over the timeline before. We didn't have it in the newsletter though, because you're not paying attention to any of it, Clemente. So instead, we're talking about it now after the fact that the trade was available. The Psi trade has seemed interesting recently. I know nothing about why this is relevant at all, but the fact that we're now actually discussing L3s as a legitimate sort of thing just means we're definitely in bull market territory. Because how do you even transition your money over to an L3? You need like a donkey that or a mule to that you carry your cash, and it walks it up the mountain, connects it to a computer. The donkey has to drink 2 gallons of water in order to verify its identity, and then what happens?
Wow, that's a good one, Nick.
Okay.
Next story, Celestia hitting.
You can't even tell me the answer.
No, Nick, that was a good one, man.
That was the correct answer.
Next story is Celestia hitting another all-time. We got all-time highs all across the board. This one was almost $21. Easy's been talking about this for quite some time. And Sui, not Say, but Sui. Okay. Sui hit a new all-time. It's up 73% in the last 7 days. This had quite a lot of turns and discussion yesterday, as from the Nifty account I tweeted, yo, Sui or Say, what are you buying? And people were going back and forth. I had those little owls talking some smack at me. What are those called? Fuddies. Yeah, they were all over. Shout out to the Fuddies as well. But those have been doing well.
There were 5 people that responded to Clemente's tweet, and he's like, yo, everyone on Twitter was talking about
it. Sig, I saw you needed anything to add?
I'm just, I think you have COVID, man. That pronunciation, it's as bad as Nick's.
He's got COVID lisp.
I got the COVID
lisp. You got the COVID lisp.
First piece I do want to talk about, and this is very quickly, is I want to talk about the Taproot Wizards auction that's going on for the 1-of-1 Quantum Cat, because Nick and I had a little back and forth on Twitter yesterday.
Because you had a typo in your tweet, and then you stood by it.
Yeah. Just to provide some context, Taproot Wizards is doing a 1-of-1 auction for their 1-of-1 Quantum Cat is live on Sotheby's right now. There's 7 days left in the auction. There's a current bid of $40,000 and I've tweeted from the Nifty Portal account. I was like, hey, is there a chance this thing, the winning bid, will be for over $500,000? And Nick thought I was crazy for it. Nick, if you want to add anything to it, but there's 7 days left in this thing.
You said the price is $40,000. Will it go for $500,000 based on literally nothing?
It's a Quantum Cat 1-of-1. I think this goes for $500,000. No questions asked. That's just me.
You want to place a bet when the Sotheby's estimate is $15,000 to $20,000? How big of a bet do you want to place that you're off by potentially an order of magnitude for your estimate?
This is going to age so poorly. This is the first Taproot Wizards related.
How much do you want to bet? How much do you want to put up to bet that you're off? You're going to be off by guaranteed. I'm going to say it's not going above 100,000. So how much are you going to? And
over under 100K?
Yeah. Is that what we're doing? I'll put $100 on it.
$100.
$100 that it goes over.
Let's go.
All right.
Shake on it. Shake on it. Shake on it.
Wow, your dog got excited there. Easy.
Yeah, dude, he's hyped. He's like, he's fucking excited right now, man, because he knows Clemente's about to win this.
Yeah, I think it's gonna go, and everyone's saying over. I think this literally goes for $500,000. Hey, and you know what, Nick? I'm gonna add something else. I'm gonna add a little bit more spice to it. If anyone's listening in the comments, if you go ahead and comment your bid, your prediction, if you get it right, we'll give you $100 from the Nifty Portal account, straight from the company wallet. $100 if you guess this correct.
Wait.
What?
Does he have the power to make that decision, Nick?
Yeah. Hey, if someone guesses the winning bid correctly, on the dollar, we'll give you $100 straight from the Nifty Portal company wallet. Let us know in the comments, either YouTube or Twitter.
It's coming from Clemente's pocket is where that's coming from.
We'll take the deduction out of the paycheck.
Whatever. Do it.
Clemente, sorry, wait 1 sec, right? So if you're saying $500,000 for the 1-of-1 quantum cat, what would you put a 1-of-1 wizard at?
At over $1 million.
Over $1 million?
Yeah. I don't, yeah.
Dude, you're
throwing
I don't know
out
what the Miami Heat has done to you. You're just throwing out numbers here.
By the way, we can't review the YouTube comments. YouTube commenters, like, I think it's got to go on a specific tweet that you post, Clemente.
Well, our comments are blowing up, but I will tweet it out as well. Sig, what's your price prediction if you had one?
Well, punks are at 200, around 200K right now. I think they're about 200K.
No, they're 150.
I do not think. Sorry, they're 150K. I do not think like the cap will go for $500,000. I would say maximum it goes is like no more than 120. I would say no more than 120 because a 1-of-1, because you have to relate the collection to what the wizards will be. This cat collection just came out as a surprise. I hadn't heard about it until maybe over a week ago. Wizards has been hyped for not hyped, but has been talked about for absolutely ages. And I feel there's more of a premium on that collection, unless for whatever reason the team decide to drive some kind of like own a cat. It means access to something else. But for the time being, that hasn't been spoken about. So I'm going to say no more than 120 on the cat, because I think the wizards, like a 1-of-1 wizard, could potentially trade, because I think that will be the highest PFP across all chains, and that could potentially trade closer, but still not even $500,000.
So I just want to clarify, with our bet, we're speaking about the bid, basically the actual price that they're bidding, not including all the Sotheby's fees and bullshit that's going to go on top.
No. Yeah. Forget that.
The USD bid that is shown on the page, not everything else like final sale bullshit. It has to have 100,001 penny or more.
I'm wishing I did the over-under of 150 because Clemente would have been like, done.
I literally would have done. I think this is going for 250.
You just said 500.
Pio said this is going to 500K as well.
Would you want to switch it to 150?
No, don't give him that edge, Clemente. Clemente, as your financial advisor, do not give him an additional edge.
What the hell are y'all talking about? Come on now.
Make it easy. But we're getting some guesses. Robin Dubs said this thing goes for 160,000. And as I'm pinning this, Easy, do you have a guess while I'm pinning this tweet?
150, I think, feels really good. I don't think it breaks 200K.
Good to know.
Yeah,
well, Cherry said 230. These are I'm getting all the guesses I am getting, Nick, are above 100K, but we've already been talking about this for too long, given what's going on in the.
We only have 10 more minutes left on this show, so let's go.
That's just not true. But Nick, I saw you were tweeting a lot about Solana and just crypto action in general. We've been seeing Bitcoin continuing to bleed. This is, I believe, part of the Elizabeth Warren attack on crypto. She is succeeding in trying to take us down right now.
Well,
momentum
literally up
changed on Twitter. Go ahead, Nick. I know you had some thoughts on Solana that you were tweeting about. That was potentially right, but I'd like for you to add anything you'd like to hear.
I was looking at the Solana to ETH sort of ratio, and it's been on this uptrend, which made me feel like Solana can just run to 150 here. It pumped a lot higher yesterday. Solana had gone up to like 100 yesterday, and now it's pulled back to like 95. I mean, look, I didn't give a timeline on when the 150 is. I do think it's sooner rather than later. That said, like Bitcoin has pulled back some. It's in an interesting range where we're at the moment. I got to pull up a chart. There's a range that I already had on Bitcoin that had it like between, I think, 40 and 40. It's just been like hovering in this range for an extended period of time. And so literally for like almost 2 months. So the quote sell off that everyone's like, oh my God, it's hit its peak. That was basically, it's still in the range of where it's been for the past like 2 months. And that was up leading into the ETF sort of story. I mean, we have significant gains on Bitcoin still. Crypto is still looking really bullish. It's still in a bull trend. So like nothing's changed from that front. And then this weekend, what I saw was that Solana pump, and also I saw Solana meme coins pumping. I actually did a little bit of some trades using the Bonk bot on Telegram, and my portfolio, which had gone down as much as 75% from where I started that account just to test out BonkBot, is now up 2x, which means this weekend I made something like 600%. On Mira, I think was the one that I had.
Myra.
No.
No, the cat, the female dog.
Myra.
Yeah.
And then actually I can tell you, and I have some whiff in this portfolio. I mean, I already have it in the other portfolio. Myra. That was the one that did well. I had made a bunch of other trades. I've learned, I just put in one soul to start with this, by the way. So like, these are not big swings that I'm making. I do have thousands of dollars in my, one of my hot wallets of whiff and bonk. But I was just testing out this bonk bot on Telegram, which is pretty useful. It seemed the main utility, it actually settles its trades. If you go to BirdEye, which is the primary site that I use for tracking a lot of these meme coins. There's also Dex Tools, or Dex, what is it? Dex Scanner? Dex Screener?
Dex Screener.
Yeah, Dex Screener is another one. What's going on with the dog?
He's not happy.
Okay. So, well, you shouldn't disrespect your dog like that, dude. He's unhappy with some of that smack you've been talking, dude. You've been running that mouth a little too much. But final thought on this. The bonk bot, very interesting. It always settles the transactions, which is the primary benefit of using it. Whereas all the other tools that I've used, even with Jupiter, I've had struggles with actually settling some of these trades. So if you're looking to get in the Solana meme coin game, BonkBot is the way to go. A lot of people in our Discord use that one specifically, and that's where all the action is. And with the meme coins coming back, it just made me feel like, look, Solana's got, and with the Sol ETH ratio pumping, it feels like we got some. There's some legs here. There's a desire for blast off.
Yeah. Easy. What's the story with Wynn? What is it? Anita Max Wynn.
Anita Max Wynn.
What's the story there?
It's Drake's alter ego. It's basically all it is. He goes on Kick, live streams himself gambling, and when he goes down bad, he converts into Anita Max Wynn, which is his lovely lady personality, in which he needs to get a max win on a slot machine. And then go ahead, Nick.
No, go ahead. You can finish.
I was going to say, then some random dropship kids decided to launch a clothing line for it and sent him hats. Somehow they got the hats to him. And now he just teases the hat whenever he needs a max win. So then sure enough, somebody launched a Solana meme coin for it. And it's absolutely sending.
He's someone who feels incredibly lonely to me.
Why?
Because like you saw like his like strip club buckets of cash that he does, as well as like him gambling, as well as like he seems like someone, he has lots of stories of like women he's like DMing with and stuff like that on a continuous basis. It feels like he's like chasing something that like is not lasting. I don't know.
Internal struggle of happiness in which he cannot achieve it. It happens.
Well, I don't know if it's impossible, to be completely honest.
The fact that money does not buy happiness, so he's in a constant loop of trying to purchase that.
Yeah, pretty much. And just some of his commentary is I find to be interesting.
Regardless, anyway, the hat slaps. The hat slaps. I want one really bad. The meme coin's up like 600,000%. And yeah, the Stake intern actually said he's going to try to get Drake to talk about the Wynn token in a tweet response. Someone was like, can you please get him to talk about money sign Wynn? And then he said, where is Anita Max Wynn? Somebody said the Solana blockchain. And he goes, where the hell is that?
Yeah, Ansem was tweeting about it this morning. So yeah, I mean, I literally cannot buy this now, but we have been doing some coverage of meme coins on the Nifty Twitter, and people were very excited about Wynn, and we missed out on it early, but we covered it last night. The other piece I wanted to talk about, I want to shift away from meme coins for a second and talk ETHscriptions, itty bits. Easy. Do you know what the story is here? Do you have any insight on whether or not this has any upside from here? I do think the collection's interesting, but I'm curious what you think, or if you have any
inscriptions on anything besides Bitcoin is so dumb to me. Like literally the dumbest stuff. I think it's dumb. I don't know. It uses a ton of block space. Gas fees get wicked high.
It's so
I'm not
stupid.
a fan of it. Yeah, we've seen it on SPL 20 tokens, which had like a weekend of just mayhem, and you could print cash. This
BRC 20 has been like the majority of activity on Bitcoin.
Yeah, but that's also because you have OKX and Gate.io, making it really easy to buy those for like additional parties versus like actual NFTs. I don't know. To me, I think it's going to be a fad. These may stick around because they're like the first one and people love the first narrative. But what's going to happen next is you're going to see 20 to 30 different attempts at this with other collections. They're going to try to build on top of this. And then sure enough, people move on to the next shiny object.
So there was some speculation this weekend that I received via text message from a knowledgeable investor who seemed to imply that the reason that those inscriptions did really well with BRC20 was, like you said, OKX listing them. And there's some implications here that basically Binance wants to do the equivalent with some of these other tokens, potentially on Solana, because they don't want to miss out on that market action, and they don't want to do necessarily BRC20 tokens. I don't understand the complete thesis there. Like, if the demand is for BRC20, why wouldn't they list BRC20? Like, it's not like OKX has a monopoly on all crypto activity. But it was an interesting thesis. Yeah.
Easy. Did you hear anything about that?
Yeah, I did see a similar message from a similar individual that may not be mentioned here. But I think that to me, it's like a lot of people are chasing this like hot narrative. I think OKX has done probably the best job, to be honest, because they also listed SPL 20s and Sol inscriptions, which led to like giga pumps initially.
I did see a commenter, Clemente, bring up the dating advice of last week, and I do need to ask you, did you go on the date?
Not on that one. No.
So has she gone full flake mode? Where are we at with it?
No, she wanted nothing to do with it. We can talk about this at the end of the show. I want to keep us on track. But Nick, I actually did. Okay, we're talking about this later. I want to talk about Pudgy penguins now. Easy. These things hit a new all-time high. They're over $30,000 right now. A 12.75 ETH floor. What's the reason for this? Is this basically everyone's just pricing in future airdrops and mixed in with some of the deliverables? Why now are these all of a sudden?
They got the island token and they're getting the dimension token, which is like pretty substantial. It seems to be like this is now quickly becoming the premier ETH collection to get everything and anything. So like a lot of people now are very quickly deciding like Pudgies in general are what is going to give you the most return. Just not even from the project itself, but the ecosystem and the project that most third-party applications and protocols want to work with. So like, to me, that's really interesting. You've already started to see it, and now people are starting to price in like future airdrops that could be coming.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean Layer 0 airdrop is coming. Little Pudgies are on that. One of the Layer 0 founders rocks a Pudgy penguin, so I think that's going to be included. I think that's going to be huge. Yeah, there's a ton of other free stuff that's dropping. And speculation of a token, which was the big speculation at Art Basel, which I think also helps drive the narrative.
Well, I think go ahead, Signal.
No, I was gonna say, I mean, but Pudgy's just definitely showing the most strength, even when collections have sold. Like last week, or most of the collections sold off, and Pudgy's were actually it's still going up. It does feel a little bit hot right now, I think, on this. But in terms of like solidifying themselves as the #1 ETH collection that is actually building, has really good communication, has this continuous like rollout of strong updates, I think they are #1. It'll be interesting to see how Pudgies and Azuki fare against each other going into Q1, Q2, because obviously Azuki have announced that they have the token as well. So it'll be interesting to see like the price action against those two collections. But I think Pudgies has the stronger track record of continuously rolling out cool things, and people like that. Azuki was very quiet last year. Very, very quiet. I think everybody kind of thought, right, they raised the 40 million, then kind of disappeared. It's good to see them come out with, like, the trailer was sick. I know we're going to talk about Azuki, but I thought the trailer was absolutely sick. And it's good to see them actually cement themselves in the 3 verticals that they spoke about. But I think Pudgy's right now has like the #1 position because they've just had a more continuous track record of delivering and communicating.
I was going to say the Azuki situation, and the token there seems to be like more validation after seeing the price action there. My guess is Pudgy buyers aped into Pudgy because they're saying, well, where's the next version of that trade? I don't know when Pudgy is going to actually announce their token, but inevitably, like, it feels like something that's just going to happen regardless. I mean, that is the playbook at this point in time, is essentially like level this up to a token. The biggest thing is, what's the best example? ApeCoin feels like the main primary example of an NFT that
Memecoin.
Oh yeah, Memecoin.
Memecoin is probably the best one in my opinion because it hasn't completely cratered following price action without any major deliverables. It's also the fact that I like their actual rollout of Memecoin, where they're just like, you have this unlock, we're not going to tell you a date, just when we feel the market can absorb it, which leads to constant speculation on when that unlock could happen. Like, yeah, dude, this thing's up 22% in 7 days. Like, Memecoin looks great here.
Give me 1 month though. Like, what, 7 days is not as interesting
15%.
to me. Okay, down 17%. Give me a lifetime here.
Yeah, let's see the 1 year. Up
So
1%.
it's basically flat.
Yeah, which is fine. I don't think that's a bad sign. Like, can we go over to ApeCoin and see the lifetime of that?
Yeah.
Real excited.
We don't need to do that.
Really excited for this one. You know, real. All right, let's pop that sucker up to all time. Oh,
Yikes.
oh.
Yeah, the ApeCoin chart looks awful. I mean, it literally it's an awful chart. I own a little ApeCoin. Not a lot. But yeah, this is quite the situation. So I guess Memecoin is the best executor at this point.
Does it
Easy.
feel like?
How does little? Sorry, Clemente, how did little Pudgies feel to you right now at 1 ETH compared to the big Pudgies at almost 13?
It felt way better at 0.8 yesterday. Way better. You know, 1 ETH isn't surprising, but like right now, obviously Pudgies go higher, littles go higher. Little Pudgies, though, what I'd be more interested in is at this price, buying one and bridging it to every single chain that they offer with Layer 0. Like, just take the action, bridge it to Arbitrum, bridge it to Polygon, bridge it to Optimism, and then bridge it back. Like, just run laps with this damn thing, because what that's going to do is qualify your wallet for the Layer 0 airdrop because you're using it.
And where do you go do that?
They have a portal, I believe, on their page. I'll find the exact link and share it. But like, in my opinion,
yeah, I just want to interrupt to say this one thing. I'm tired of you giving the alpha, but it's us not actually revealing the step-by-step instructions in video form or written form on our Twitter account as a follow-up to these shows. In Clemente, I'm gonna blame you for that. So let's go back to what you.
Yeah, Clemente, why did you do that? Thank you, Nick. I was worried you were gonna blame me. I may have gotten a little upset there if you did, just because I'm giving you the insight. I'm giving you this, but we can follow up with that and give a written way to do this, and even post it from the Nifty account. So Clemente, that's your task for after the show. Thank you.
And it should go in the newsletter.
Oh yeah, and in the newsletter. So I hope you don't have a busy day today, man. We're gonna be giving you some things
straight up. Like, I want to be very clear about this. I'm writing this down in Asana. This is happening right now.
Clemente, we're in trouble.
What's going on the morning process? Basically, dude, this is ridiculous. That Easy shares alpha and then not documented. Basically, it's written down. It's now in there. Listeners, this is not happening again. It's just not happening because Easy.
But sometimes I share this alpha and I don't have it written down. So like, if I share the alpha, do I then have to go write it down after?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's literally our job. Why do people listen to the show? They want the alpha and they want it fucking spoon-fed to them the same way that I want it spoon-fed to me, because you're making money off of being out there every single day and paying attention to this shit. And
I gave the airdrop alpha written down in full. I'm just saying. The one you yelled at me for last week is written down in the Discord and was shared.
You keep saying written down in the Discord. Like, that's like the main thing.
It was a PDF shared in the announcement channel with @here@everyone.
There's 50 people on the Discord and there's 40,000 on our email newsletter. So which of those is more
the Discord, because that's our core community, Nick. Those are the ones that stand and ride with us day in and day out and make our community strong, Nick.
Okay, well, I'm glad that you shared it there first, and I'm sure that audience appreciates it, but it's not being delivered to our audience, and it's not being delivered on a silver platter to me, the person who's running this fucking business.
I know that that's the crux of the pain here is that I haven't spoon-fed it to Nick while he's been sick on the couch like a bowl of soup. So Nick, I will take care of this.
This business, but you're just making a bunch of cash. So remember that, and maybe if you have a single ounce of empathy, rather than during the time where you write that tweet about how you're going to hit people with a fucking car, you can instead write a guide to how the audience can make a shit ton of cash.
Oh shit, my camera just died. 1 sec.
All right, we lost
timing.
Well, so we'll get that sorted, Nick. That was a very long-winded way of saying, hey, we're going to be dropping that on the Twitter. We're going to be the newsletter, even though it's already newsletter.
It needs to be just in the newsletter. I'm tired. It doesn't even need to be Twitter. The call to action is get on the newsletter. We're going to give you a spelled out guide on how to do this. And what else are we going to do, Clemente? Take a guess. We're going to have a portfolio that we're going to manage to go through all those different steps so you can follow along and see how it plays out.
Yeah, easy peasy. Yeah, we're going to get that done. Even though we were finalists for an NFT newsletter of the year, we're going to win that thing this year, baby. Let's go. I want to touch on Azuki now. My thought process as I saw the 2-year anniversary thread that they did, Sig, like you said, that trailer that they dropped, looked really good. My thought process is Azuki is at 6.7 ETH. Beans are down 27% in the last 7 days. So I'm seeing Pudgy Penguins appreciation, but Azuki, if they're doing this token, I think they look really good at these prices, especially if they follow a similar playbook to the Penguins in terms of getting some of these airdrops. I don't see why Azuki can't get them. Nick,
you're going to go buy a bean again after it's pumped 80%?
I actually do want to buy one at 0.4.
There we go. Dude, you keep exiting at the bottom. All of your trades, you need to just have conviction on your trades. You keep literally selling it at the bottom. The news comes out, it pumps, and then you FOMO back in. You are the canonical example of a standard investor, a standard retail investor that sells low, buys high.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't appreciate that. That hurts my feelings because I'm trying, Nick. I'm out here working. And you know what? The thing is, I'm getting my losses out of the way. So in 2024, I'm just going to dominate because I learned my lessons in 2023.
In January.
Hey, I learned my lessons last year when the stakes were low, dude. Nothing was moving. I was getting in there. I was getting my feet. I was getting my calluses. I was hardening my hands. And now I'm getting ready for 2024. And I like beans at 0.4 ETH. But easy. I'm not sure what you think. Do you have any Azuki exposure at this point?
I do not. No, I have 0. None.
And
negative, to be honest.
How do you feel about Azuki at 6.7 ETH?
I kind of think they go higher.
Yeah.
Right now I do. Like, we don't know much about the token. I like this line partnership with Beans a lot. I think it's kind of fun. Like, that figure looked cool. Cool enough for Nick to interrupt you and even say, that looks good. Which is like, that's a pretty big deal because normally Nick just yells.
We got a version of our BoDoggo that I'm very excited about. That's. Have
I not seen this yet? Where is this?
Yeah, you have.
Oh, I have. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I feel like you can go higher as well. Clemente, I definitely think you can go higher. I also think people haven't made their moves yet. Well.eth put out a really good thread about the badges and the points and the different traits because it's all trait based. So I think you're going to see a lot of moving around on the collections. I think like Spirit, it doesn't sound to me like Spirit DAO have made their moves here. Like it just doesn't sound like people
Elemental beans are the alpha.
Beans?
No, that's what they are. Elemental beans. They're the burn to redeem ones.
Why? Why would that be the alpha?
Deflationary collection, much like mutant serums. And there's speculation that you could pull a rare, so they always trade at a premium, much like we saw with Ranga black boxes. Clemente, act like you've been here before, dude.
No, you know what? I've had some hey, shout out to the commenters on Twitter, on YouTube. They're taking my side. They're saying,
yeah,
hey,
I want to apologize, Clemente. They're making me feel bad.
They're saying, hey, I have a potential lawsuit. This is workplace harassment.
Wow.
DMing Bunny, frankly. We're going to set up a meeting to discuss this. how this can be communicated in a more effective way. In the meantime, though, one of the things I was looking at that I found very interesting is I was looking at the weekly volume on NFTs for the last 2 years. And the last 2 years, we've seen NFTs basically peak in January, right? In 2022, they peaked in January. 2023, last year, they peaked in late January, early February. And I'm looking now, and we're following the same pattern where it's ramping up going into the new year. And what do we have in February? We have the Blast airdrop. We have the Blast unlock, which I think is going to bring in a lot of liquidity for ETH, which I find very interesting. And to me, Azuki at half the price of a Lil Pudgy feels undervalued to me. But Easy, in general, do you feel like February could be a big month for ETH NFTs as a whole, given what I just described?
No. Yes. I changed my mind in real time there. Yes, I do. You have Blur unlock coming for the Blast Bridge situation, so billions in ETH is going to be unlocked. That's really interesting to me. Yeah, I think that could actually be a pretty big liquidity injection. It just largely depends if we chop here. Like, the chop is the big thing. Do we end up chopping on ETH price? If so, then yeah.
Yeah, we have Nick.
Sorry, you say what you were going to say. I was going to say afterwards. I just want to
something off topic. Sig, what do you make of this? I know you've been doing your research on NFTs, the whole crypto. What do you feel in terms of the ETH NFT ecosystem right now as a whole?
No, right now for me, I'm like I mentioned this last week. I'm not in the NFTs at the moment. I'm more in the fungibles. I'm enjoying the fungible circus at the moment. It doesn't like there's definitely a place to be had, but like for example, jumping into Azuki now, I wouldn't feel comfortable doing that. I think like Azuki has run, Pudgies have run. It feels like the gaming stuff would be the NFTs that you'd want to really be jumping on. I much prefer focusing on Solana at the moment. Obviously, following Blast is also going to be the Jaido airdrop coming up as well.
Jupiter
airdrop. So there's going to be a big unlock happening there. So there's definitely a lot of money floating around in the ecosystem, and I just think that on the Solana side, things are much more interesting. I've been enjoying trading and doing airdrop farming on there way more than on ETH, and it's just basically to do with not having to pay any gas, and then just doing airdrop farming in general. Ordinals absolutely cooking as well. I think like right now as we go like into this bull, I just think it's a case of like just choose your lane and dominate there. Like I don't really think there is a wrong lane to be in at the moment, as long as you're focusing on the right stuff. There's plenty of opportunities to make money, and rather than trying to try and be in every chain, do every airdrop farm, every NFT collection, just choose the one that you think is going to do right. So if you want to do Azuki, you study the traits, you figure out what stuff's undervalued. You just heard Easy talk about the elemental beans being deflationary, stuff like that. Probably the market still hasn't caught on, would be the right trade. But other than that, I just think like choose the lane you want to be in and dominate that, because like there's money to be made in these next like 3 to 9 months.
Clemente, I just want to point out that some of the commenters have begun siding with me. They said that you deserve the abuse and that that's the only way that you'll ever learn. As part of that, I want to find out what is the data. So give us the follow-up on the dating situation. Did that girl definitively flake? She's out of the picture?
She's out of the picture. And then the other girl was like, "Oh, hey, she was working on Saturday. She's like, "Oh, I can't hang out Saturday. What are you doing tomorrow night or Monday night?" And I was like, "I don't want to go get drinks late night. That's going to ruin my whole week." So, you know what? Not interested. But I did make some progress in the other departments in the dating situation. Yeah.
So, sorry, how? Because it sounds like you're batting zero right now.
I'm not batting zero. I'm not batting zero. But yeah.
So just explain to us real quick.
I don't want to.
Did you meet someone in the real world?
Yeah, I had a couple IRL. Hinge, not as actually Hinge. I did actually go through.
Hinge is not an IRL channel.
I went IRL instead. But on a side note, actually on the Hinge department, I optimized my profile. I went and I was like, you know what? I got to get scientific with this. I just as I approach YouTube Shorts, Twitter optimization, the show, I got to do the same with Hinge. So I called up some of my girlfriends from home. I was like, hey, we need to fix this here. Go through my profile. We optimize it. They're like, hey, you know, you got to get that 5'9" up to like 5'11", 6 foot. We can't do that. What else do we do?
Can't do that.
You're starting to sound like the Tinder swindler, Clemente. Optimizing your profile. I'm just saying, are you meeting real, like what Nick is asking is, are you meeting real girls face to face, talking with them, touching inappropriately? Where are these women that you talk about?
What? See, the thing is, I'm getting called a Tinder swindler now.
So stop focusing on what we're calling you and give us straight answers to straight questions, dude.
I don't. Why? No,
Are you embarrassed? Did you have sex and you don't want to talk about it? Is that what happened? You met a girl drunkenly, bada bing, bada boom, wham bam. Thank you, ma'am. She was out the door at 3 a.m. Is that what you're saying? What happened? Or yeah.
No. But I am. I don't. Well, we'll get into it. I'll tell you after the show. Well, okay.
What's so embarrassing about it? Now we need to know. The more embarrassing it is, Clemente, the better of content that it is.
I wish I had an embarrassing story to tell. I don't. But
so you did not? Did any girl come into your apartment in the past week?
Into my apartment? No. Okay.
We're going to talk about into any girl's apartment in the past week.
We're going to talk about this later. We'll sync on it. But it is wild how much attention, how interested people are in this content. It's a little bit troubling, frankly. But yeah, okay.
None of us have sex, Clemente. It doesn't happen. So like we need to hear about it from our young stud here, basically, who we're now thrown into the field to go have wild experiences.
All right.
Frankly, we're gonna make a show where we follow you around with the camera. The moment that you walk out of your apartment, I'm paying someone to come stand outside your apartment to make sure that you're out doing stuff. But why is the story so interesting, but you can't share it?
If this means I can expense the dinners I have, I'm all for it. I'm gonna expense all the.
No, Clemente, don't leak that.
If it's recorded on video, then yeah, I'm done. We're not following you back to your apartment, but we want to see you. We literally just want a shot of you in the field on a date. Like, I think just literally a picture. Like, we need to get like a celebrity. What do you call what do you call the people that chase celebrities around?
Paparazzi.
The paparazzi.
Your COVID lisp is really hitting today, huh?
Okay, it's COVID brain. So I got COVID lisp and COVID brain. I was going to say we need the paparazzi following Clemente around. Secondarily, that's going to just increase the odds that you end up with one of these women, Clemente, because there's bigger cameras following you everywhere.
Yeah, and the comments, I'm getting some crazy comments right now on Twitter. What I will say is this week, I have some hot leads in the pipeline. We've been
how many messages did you do, and did you get any of their numbers?
I got one.
Follow our rule.
I did follow. So the rule and what I realize is it's got to be way more casual. You got to say, hey, you want to grab an ice cream? You want to go check out XYZ? Like, no big deal.
You don't ask a question. You state that here's what the plan is and here's the date. I'd love to work out the logistics. Let me grab your number and we'll make this happen. Like, basically, like, you need to make the statement decisively about what your plan is. The moment that you sound weak, lower level, the girl's just canceling you out right out the gate because she has 40,000 dudes who are literally in her DMs trying to just like touch her from a distance, literally. Like, these guys are creepy. The amount of inflow and inbound that every woman on a dating app has is insane. You basically need to be the decisive leader that she's been waiting for her entire life. And if you don't do that, you don't deserve it, Clemente. So I'm just letting you know, you need to, within 3 messages, basically, let her know what the plan is. She matched with you for a reason. The goal is to go on a date. That's the reason that she matched with you. You need to push forward to that, basically. That is your job as the counterparty on this app. So if you don't do that, we're not fucking interested in the story, Clemente. We need you to level up so you can get more deal flow coming in. Here we got. So the secret is.
Hold on, I see Signal nodding.
Showing up on the show.
I'm nodding because
Theo looks sick.
So right. Oh my goodness.
Theo looks like shit, man.
He's got COVID too.
This man looks sick. He's pale. What's going on, dude?
Before we throw to Pio, Signal, you weren't here on Friday. We had this discussion already. I see you nodding. Anything to add to what Nick was saying?
there's something very nice about when a guy just says, "This is where we're going." Da 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 da. Time, date. You just go, and he's chosen a good place, and it's just everything's done. There's nothing like, it's you know, when you're going on all these dates and like you're the one always having to like come up with the ideas. It's refreshing when the guy's just like, "This is it. This is it. Meet me there. Done."
Oh, the man makes
right
the plan. Yeah, the man makes the plan. Have to do that. The only caveat I wanted to throw in, and I was inspired to chime in here because, and I want to see what Sig has to say about this. I don't like to say the day because she's a high value woman, right? She's got a lot going on. She's got a lot of, you know, stuff going on in her life. If you say, "Hey, let's meet up on Thursday," and she's got legit plans, she just can't do it that day, you're cooked because then you're chasing from there. I like to figure out when they're free. When are you free? Let's do this. When are you free?
No, I'm going to disagree with you here because you're a busy man.
What happens if she has plans? What happens if she has plans?
Basically, but what happened is you're doing the righteous thing of basically making time available for her because you are so busy, dude. Like, you have a life. You are a very important person. You need to first position and frame yourself as such because you are, and you need to value yourself like you are a very important person. If you don't value yourself in that way, you're not deserving of a counterparty. Okay, you're instead all you're deserving.
I'm not talking about self.
No, I'm just saying
it's not self-worth. It's just logistics. It's getting something in the calendar.
No, self-worth is communicated through logistics. Basically, what I'm saying is I have so much deal flow in my DMs, in my messages. There's so many women trying to date me. I'm granting somebody the opportunity. I mean, I'm not doing this now, but you need to have that mindset. Okay. So that's all that I'm saying.
One of our listeners
let's work out the logistics.
One of our friends / listeners is texting me. He loves this. He just absolutely loves this.
Jack is going crazy in Slack right now too, dude. Jack is going wild.
Well, Jack's in a healthy relationship, but he's not on the show, and that tells you a lot. But real quick, the person that
other than Pio and Clemente.
Real quick, someone said Nick Tate. He's calling you Nick Tate.
I'm not being that aggressive. I'm just saying the subtle sandwich. That
Make me a sandwich. All right, I gotta go, guys. I'm on a little. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I'm a little bit under the weather. And it's just. I think I have COVID. My throat. I probably shouldn't have done Muay Thai on Saturday for 2 hours when I felt sick.
You had COVID and did Muay Thai?
I didn't know I had COVID at the time. We were drilling scissor knees, so I was very excited to go. But so anyway,
he just infected the entire gym. It's nice.
I didn't think I was sick.
2 million people a day are getting COVID in the U.S. That's a crazy number. Basically, all of New York is fucking sick. There's no one in the streets right now, by the way. Like literally everyone's just sick.
It's so cold, dude, and my window blew open yesterday. It was closed and locked, and it blew open. It was like a bomb went off. Sapphire just starts going ape shit, ready to take on the window monster. It was something. Anyway, I'm gonna go. I got the commenters roasting the shit out of me. I told Clemente I just didn't want to project for an hour and 10 minutes today. I've been drinking tea over here, but I'm working all day. We got a huge day. Oh, we got a huge day. I'm ready to friggin' I'm ready to suck today's dick. All right, I'll see you guys.
Oh, wow.
Clemente still won't tell us to end that story. What the fuck happened, dude?
No, we'll talk about this later. I will talk about it. I will bring it up on the show, but not right now. A Signal, do you have any other advice based on what Pio was saying or Nick? Anything to add here? Or are we gonna
I'm not sure. I can't take advice from Pio in his current state, man. He's got a shade of white I didn't even know was possible. With the green hat as well. No, much love to you, Pio. I hope you get better soon and get over the COVID. Nick, I have to say, you look like you've been on holiday compared to Pio right now for someone who has COVID. But Clemente, going back, right? Let's just we'll have an Asana board. We're going to have columns. We're going to have cards you can move. We're going to get the deal flow better. We're going to help you out, man. It sounds like this isn't a one-man project. This is a team project, and we're going to get you to close. I think you have a problem closing, but we're going to move you from a non-closer to becoming a closer. So don't worry. We've got you this year.
Basically, the next step is he's going to have all sorts of deal flow. That's basically the next step. 2 is he needs to have so many dates that it's interfering with his work. And I set up a call with him to let him know he's on the verge of being fired. that's what the goal is. Then he's at that point, he starts escalating the quality basically. Cause right now he's dealing with these young, like, dude, Clemente is so young that like, he's basically dating like 18-year-olds at this point in time is like who he's matching with on these apps, which is borderline illegal, and it's problematic. And we need to like take care of that issue first and foremost.
And anything we learn, hey, we're also going to add that to the newsletter. We're going to make a Twitter thread so you guys can have that as well. In addition to the airdrop alpha, we're also going to be adding this to the newsletter, any progress we make, just so we can make sure you guys are getting this as well.
I just tweeted the airdrop alpha.
So from your own account?
Of course.
We're not interested in that. Okay. I won't be reading that. Someone said, gentlemen never tell us a phrase for a reason. And I'm going to say call her daddy was popular for a reason. Okay. So like,
this is a controversial segment.
Podcast, okay. And we're trying to get inside the sex lives. This show is about the sex lives of Clemente.
I'll keep you all posted. Hey, okay, yeah, but that's our show, everyone. Someone just tweeted at us, I used to enjoy the morning show, but now it's a lot of filler stuff outside of NFT things. I can't listen anymore. This is a controversial segment. It's some people really love it, some people really hate it. Either way,
we'll do it once a week. That's what's going to happen. And for that listener, I'm sorry, but
hey, we'll keep it on track. We'll do it once a week. We'll figure out the right way to surface this. Next time I have an update, Nick and I are going to sync beforehand. We're going to get an Asana board going. I'll keep you all updated. But that's our show. We will be back tomorrow at 9 a.m. Please let us know. Give us a like. Give us a like on YouTube. We're doing some cool things over on YouTube. We're trying to get the algorithm popping over there. So any likes, comments will help us immensely. So we will see you all tomorrow. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll see you then.